Ready to get to our fast five?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. So number one, Jake, what advice would you give to our investors trying to get started today?
Ideas are shit. Action is everything. And so there's no such thing as $1 million idea. There's only $1 million execution. So to your point earlier, action.
Amen. Number two, do you have any YouTube or podcast shows that you would recommend to our listeners?
I've kind of not been on YouTube in a while, just more creating my own content. But the podcast that when I do get a chance to connect up with is the All In podcast. I really enjoy that, just the way that their thought process. Anything by Naval Ravikant is amazing. He's beyond. And then I'm kind of weird on some of these YouTube things. I watch some of these guys that build stuff. And so there's a guy that built an airplane, a short takeoff stall. It was called DRACO, DRACO. Mike Patey was his name. He built this plane, and he's like, it was fascinating to watch it, the build series of it. So,
oh, that's super interesting. I'm going to go look at that as soon as we get done. All right, number three, if you had to pick one book that you feel has made the biggest impact on your life, what would it be?
Well, I'd say the Bible. For me, I have faith, and all of this is, ultimately to glorify, and our purpose is to serve and to love others. And so I read that every day. I read that with my kids every single day, and it has made the biggest impact on my life overall. And if it was besides the Bible, I would say Powerhouse Principles by Jorge Perez.
Jorge Perez. All right.
And that's Jorge Perez.
All right. And just so y'all know, in the show notes for this episode, we're going to have links to everything that we have talked about this whole show. So don't feel like you got to stop the episode right now and write that down. It will be in the show notes. So go click on these links, and everything Jake has mentioned today, go get it right now. All right. Number four, what do you feel has been the secret sauce to your success?
Being naive enough to take action, but also humble enough to know that I don't know everything and seek advice. And so by taking action, because I believe in what I talked about earlier, is just, you have to start, you have to do something. You only need to sometimes figure out the next step on the stair or the path. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You don't need to see the entire, trail. Sometimes all you need to do is see the next step. And then through that next step, we'll reveal the next step and the next step. And so take action, and nobody has it figured out.
That's so great. That's a good reminder. Just no matter what level you're at, just stay humble in general. That's so great. Number five, and our last question for today, Jake, how can our listeners get in touch with you and follow you on your journey?
So catchknives.com, you can go buy the book. Actually, the audio book, I think, just came out this week. And so that's starting to come out in different distributors. That will be up soon on the website. You can sign up for the newsletter there. We have a due diligence course that we teach people about, once you're starting to get into commercial real estate deals, there's a much bigger weight to that, making sure to prepare yourself for that due diligence, how we can help coach some of those people through. Jake.realestate on Instagram. And that's most platforms. I think we were talking earlier. I'm on the TikToks and the YouTubes and all the things, and the Twitters and everywhere else. So Jake Harris Real Estate usually pulls up a lot of those, and I'm out there a little bit everywhere. Find me there. Sign up for any of those stuff. If you found this to be helpful, reach out, let me know. And I always like hearing from people.